Hey, what's up guys, WhirlXbow back here, and today we are going to be playing some Murmur Shaman. I played this deck a while back. Don't really remember when I played it last, but I believe it was last expansion. Where the fuck are my birds going off? My birds are normally asleep by like 11:30, and I just hear them tweeting upstairs. That's not normal. That's a problem we'll figure out after I finish the intro, but yeah, we're playing this. It's a combo deck, and yeah. Anyways, with that being said, let's queue up the first one, alright guys? Yeah, I guess I'll see y'all there. Alright, first game, Mage. Mage is interesting. Not having the coin is a little rough, but what can you do? Keep this. Mage is rough because he could be having ice block and they have objections, which makes this matchup significantly more rough than I'd like to admit, but it is what it is, you know? If I don't see a secret by hopefully turn 6 and I can go off on 6, well, GG. That's fine. Not ideal, but it's fine. I cut my finger open at work today, and it hurts like a... I cut... So it's my pointed finger on my right hand, but I cut the joint. You know, basically right as it curves in, like, the first third of my finger, like the pointy part, you know, where your nail is. I cut that joint, like, on the seam, and it goes from, like, the top to, like, the center on the base. So closing my hand hurts because I feel it like fucking pulling and cracking the scat. Oh, it's not pleasant. Don't try to imagine it, but it is far from pleasant. This is an interesting draw. Okay, we can do this next turn. We're gonna try and go up on 7 here. But yeah, I don't want to say it's the most painful cut I've ever had, because it's definitely not. But it is up there in the worst cuts I've had, at least in recent memory. I cut my hand open more times than I can. There is no more Battlecry minions in my deck. I hate this game. Okay, so we're looking for Murmur now. Murmur's the only card we still need. Maybe I should have gone with the location first so I can guarantee get at least one draw off of it. Increase the odds of drawing Murmur off the other card. That's fine. One, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's fine. Relic card overloads. Play this next turn, I guess. Still have yet to see a secret, which is really, really good. Anyways, before we dive too much more into the game, I hope everybody has a beverage. You know, I'll be drinking myself a nice cold brewski. Just finished work. Well, not just, but I've been home for like, I want to say like an hour and a bit. Just draw some cards. Press this. 9 cards in hand, that's fine. We need to draw Murmur soon, hopefully. Oh man. The worst part too is it's the finger I use for my mouse, so clicking on my mouse hurts. It's rough, but it is what it is, you know? I'll survive. This is lethal, right? Gain a shitload of mayonnaise. It should be good. Beautiful, we got there. Woo! First game, easy win. Oh, I love this combo deck. This is the epitome of like a just fucking send it combo deck, and I love it. I love it so much. Alright, well, easy first win. Let's skip the next one. Alright. Next match is another mage. I want to keep the bloom, but like there's high odds that this draws me bloom, right? So I guess high odds, it's a 33% chance, but 66, that's something good. Alright, okay, this hand is looking pretty good. I draw Murmur, and then Fairy Tale draws me the rest of the minions, and we go off on 6, hopefully. Oh, man, this combo deck is so... It's so cool. I remember the first time I played against it, and it, like, went off. I'm like, man, I want to play this. And then I played, I'm like, man, this deck feels fucking good to play. Yeah, okay. So now we just... This draws us, hopefully, our last 2 battle cries, and we draw Murmur naturally. We just slammed the Devolve here. The Flame Revenant, you just can't let that live. It's so powerful. If he just slams a shitload of elementals, you just can't. We play this here first. We play that first mostly because, you know, we want to increase our odds at actually drawing the battlecry mains with it, but yeah. Theoretically, we win on 6 if we draw decently. Oh, he didn't play an elemental last turn, so he got cucked hard. Murmur off the Farseek. This is guaranteed just our last minions. So I can play this turn, I'm overloaded next turn, gain, what is this, 5, back up to 30. Yeah, that's fine. We just have the guaranteed drop minions here. Also, I don't know if I said it yet on video. I know I just told my boss about it, because me and my boss, we both play video games. But I got my pre-order for my Switch too. I couldn't be more excited. Like he told me, he's like, oh yo, by the way, like I don't think I told you, but like I just got to a point where I'm about to go like fight Ganon in Tears of the Kingdom. I'm like, yo, that's fucking dope. Don't tell me too much because I'm gonna be playing through the game shortly. He's like, what do you mean? Like I told you, I've yet to play through the game. And I got my Switch 2 pre-order, so that means my plan was to play through it on the Switch 2. Like, I bought the game on launch. I have the collector's edition, the whole box and everything. To be fair, for all the game series I like, I typically try to buy, like, the collector's edition. Like, for Scarlet Violet, like, I bought the Switch OLED, like, the fancy one that had, was it Miraidon and Koraidon on it? I'm not too familiar with the names. But, yeah, I bought that just because, like, in my head, I'm like, look, I love this game, and I'm gonna fucking pick up the fancy version when I can, and it is what it is. But, like, Bayonetta 3, I have the collector's edition that comes with special boxes for Bayo 1 and Bayo 2. I have Fire Emblem Fate, the collector's edition. I have basically all the big games that had like super fancy collector's editions, I ended up buying. Just because in my head, like, again, it's a series I love, I'm gonna buy the fancy version type shit, but I didn't do math, but I believe he's dead off the first one of these that I play. Plays in the right order. Perfect. So this triggers 3 times, so you always typically want to play this first, so you get 3 copies of Astalor. And this way, even if he has a shitload of armor, this is another, what, 48 plus 14, 62 damage. So yeah. But anyways, I'm going to talk more about video games in the next game. Alright! Warlock. Finally, I don't have to worry about secrets. Murmur. I want to keep Murmur so badly, but it's like so risky. I'm going to keep it. You know what? I'm living life on the edge. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out type shit. But, yeah. You know, actually, speaking of, like, these big collector's editions, there's one I missed out on, and I had an opportunity to buy it, but I had not played through the game, and it was an indie game, so I just told myself, you know what? I was getting the game in, like, one of the things that I often do, quote-unquote often, I did it a lot more, probably, like, 2018 to 2020, I'd, like, go out and buy, like, I want to say rare or like limited run. Well, to be fair, the company is limited run games, but I would buy limited run games. Like I bought Celeste. I ended up paying I think $60 for the game. Came with all the cards. Came with all the everything. But like the physical copy. If anybody knows anything about random video games like that, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Type shit. But yeah, so like I ended up buying Celeste, and it came with the game that I wanted to talk about, as it came with Axiom Verge, which, again, to be fair, I own it and never played it, don't really have the drive to play it. It's not one of those games that I really, really want to play. But the game that it came also with, for like $60, I got all 3 of these games, so it's like $20 a game. If I'm not mistaken, last time I looked at Celeste, they were like $120. Open copies physical. I believe there's, I want to say 2,000 physical copies of that game by Limited Run Games. Again, huge respect to them. I've bought their Ori Collector's Edition when that came out. Have yet to play it. I bought it mostly because I'm like, Ori looks like a sick game to play. I'm super down to play it. So I will probably eventually get around to playing it, but for right now, it's gonna be what's gonna be type shit. So like I bought that, have that. It comes with like a beautiful stained glass thing. Maybe if I ever do something I'm planning on doing on the channel, I'll show pictures of everything that collector's edition comes with. I need that card. Also, the fact I'm playing is, I'm pretty sure this is Q-Block, right? Pretty sure this is Q-Block. But yeah, like, I love collecting these, but Owlboy, which is the other game that I picked up in that lot, I had the opportunity to buy the collector's edition, but I, like, noticed it at a store the day I was going to pick up the 3 games. And I told myself, if I like the game, I'll go back and buy it. So I got back, I got Celeste. I've yet to play through Celeste, which is funny. But I've played through Owlboy now. Love that game. The game is one of the better indie games I've played through in recent memory. Like, I think the game is really solid, honestly. It's a game that I think I will most likely play through again. And I feel like it's a super small indie game that not too many people know about. So, yeah, but if you want to play through a wild game like that, highly recommend if you want to play through an indie game. Owlboy was really good when I played through it. What the fuck is this card? Okay. What the fuck is this? What the fuck is... What does the card he just drew do? Just a Rush Lifesteal boy? Hex this? No, hex this. I don't want to have to deal with thinking about that. But yeah. So, like, I had the opportunity to go buy it, and then I said, oh, look, I'll play through the game, and then if I do enjoy it, I'm going to keep the collector's edition sealed. So I got the games. I think the game was in the middle of playing through back then. I was in the middle of playing through a game. I cannot recall for the life of me what I was actually playing through. What was I playing through? I was playing through something. Might have been it might have been in that phase where I was playing through a lot of the old Pokemon games. I go through phases of just wanting to play through all the old Pokemon games. So it might have been I was playing through... Was I potentially playing through like XD or Coliseum or something like that? That, or I was playing through... Pick another fucking game. I play through a lot of random games like that. But yeah, so I was playing through something else random. And I didn't get around to it for like maybe, I would say like a month and a half. To be fair, I bought Celeste not necessarily to play through it, just because I want to own it, because I figured it was one of those games, knowing people that have played through all, like, Celeste completely 100%, they're like, man, this game is fucking good. And knowing the realm of video games, I'm like, you know, picking this game up right now, again, at like 20 bucks for the physical copy is like a no-brainer type shit. So, like, I bought it mostly just to have it. Like, I've bought them a couple games. Like, I bought, like, Bendy and the Ink Machine physical copy at one point just to have it. I think I got it for, like, $4 on Facebook Marketplace. And, well, I think last I checked it was, like, 40 bucks. So it's, like, 10 times my investment, you know? To be fair, I'm never going to sell it. It's just, like, one of those things where collecting video games, it makes me want to have all these random games that people don't necessarily think would either have a physical copy or would be worth something. I own a fair amount of just like random shit. Anyways, I'm gonna continue this thought in the next game, so at least there's some amount of gameplay going on. It's not just a victory screen. Alright guys, yeah, with that being said, I'll see y'all in the next one. Alright, another Warlock. Getting back into it though. So yeah, I like to collect games that I just think, one, are either popular pop culture. I don't even want to say necessarily pop culturally, but like in the gaming industry that are like popular games. I'd like to own those like physical copies. I hate personally, like, yes, I did buy Mario Kart World digitally, so I bought it in the bundle with the Switch because where I live, first of all, I probably shouldn't say this, but where I live, the Switch 2 was $700. It was a $300, or sorry, for the version I bought was $700. For the version that didn't come with Mario Kart World, it was $650. Like $649.99, and mine was $699.99. So in my head, I'm like, you know what? It's kind of a no-brainer to spend a little bit more, get a game that I wouldn't necessarily just go out and buy Mario Kart World. Partially because, again, I like physical, so I will most likely end up finding a used copy for it. To be fair, here, where I live, Mario Kart World physical, I think it's like $120. And, like, I'm paying $50 more for the bundle. And in my head, it's like a no-brainer, right? You just spend the extra 50 bones, and you have it, right? I will probably end up buying a physical copy of it. I'll find one for like 50 bucks on Facebook Marketplace eventually or whatever. And I'll be fine with that. Or I'll buy it like 5 years from now because I'll have it on my Switch too and I won't have to worry about it. But I hate owning digital copies. The fact that my copy of Bayo 1 for Switch is a digital copy pisses me off. Why is it a digital copy? I bought Bayo 2 that came with the digital code. Turns out that was only like a European exclusive. And when it came, like, I put it in because I wanted to play through the series. I had never played through Bayo. This was 2021. I was probably talking about it in videos back then. If you want to fucking go back, what, 4 years? The fact that the first time I played that game was 4 years ago is mental to me. But like I hate the fact the copy I have is digital, and I do want to try and find there's a very limited. What the fuck? Apparently I lost internet connection. Well, hopefully this works out. If not, I'm gonna be very upset. Because I look now and I actually don't. Oh, anyways. I love living in the great up north where shit is not reliable. Yeah, no, I actually just don't. I'm gonna lose this game, and it was my game to get to Legend because my internet shit the bed. My Switch is still working. Not Nintendo Switch, but my like network Switch. Still showing me green. Where's my phone? There's my phone. No, my whole internet is down. Anyways, well, probably will not reconnect for this game, which kind of sucks. And then I'm pretty sure I won that game because I wiped his board and there was fuck all he could do. Well, I just reconnected on my phone. Hopefully the game connects back. Well, hopefully it reconnects. My computer now has internet connection again. But anyways, getting back to it, right? What the fuck was I talking about? This completely sidetracked me. Physical copies versus yeah. So I'll probably end up buying eventually a physical copy of the very limited amount of physical copies of Bayo that there is on Switch. Or I might just, like, I have a copy of Bayo 1 on PS3, but I want it on Switch because I lost that game, and it's not... I lost my star, didn't I? Bad. Anyways, well, I might cut this out, might not. If I don't, let's skip to the next one. Alright, well, I probably did not end up actually cutting it out, therefore... We're gonna potentially, I don't know what we're gonna do, but yeah. Basically, I hate digital copies of games. I hate the idea that that's where shit's going to, because at least, to be fair, I think that's everywhere, including this, well, maybe everywhere in North America. But like the States and Canada being where I live. Great White North, let's fucking go. Go Habs, go. To be fair, gonna fucking smoke. I don't know how many of you guys watch hockey, but where I work, we're all pretty big hockey fans, I feel. So, like, we were, like, having, like, the Habs game, Habs being the Montreal Canadiens, where I work, and bro, it was a wild time while we were playing against Washington 2 days ago, Thursday. Don't worry. What are we Saturday today? As I'm recording this, or Sunday as this video goes up? So Friday. Today we're Sunday, so yeah, it would have been Friday. It was fucking wild. We were all fucking going crazy at work. To be fair, it was pretty fun. I won't lie. I like it when we're all fucking going crazy together, you know, like, you know, the amount of times where we would get fucking, like, bills at work, and we're just, like, more focused on the hockey game, and we noticed that everybody in the audience was also just, like, staring at the fucking screen, watching the hockey game, because we work in an open kitchen, but, like, yeah, we'd be sitting there, and we'd be fucking watching the hockey game, and bills would come up, I look at my boss will look at me like, shut the fuck up. Let's watch the end of like the last 3 minutes of the period type shit. And we watch the last 3 minutes, and then we fucking call the Bills and fucking bust our ass to do it during the intermission, and go back to watching the fucking. It was great. Like I love that aspect of where I work. You know. We're in a really rough spot, huh? I have to finish my beer. That last sip was warm as fuck. We're in a really bad position. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we're at 4. I should have probably played this, even though most likely, like, these 3 survived. On average, it's like 2.5 damage a piece. Seriously, this died, so I'd be taking. Maybe that was better. I think we lost this game. Oh well, it is what it is. Well, I told myself in my head like, oh, you know, if I win my next game, I'll play an extra one just to see if we hit legend in it. So I'm pretty sure we'd have won the game where we disconnected, which really fucking sucks. But what can you do? Great White North, where there's like a fucking storm going on outside, so it is what it is. But we'll probably play one more after this because I don't like the fact that that middle game ended. I just don't want to necessarily cut out all of my voiceover I did. I was talking about, you know, shit that I want to talk about. You know what? Fuck it. We're actually just gonna we're dead. Like, there's nothing I can fucking draw here to actually get out of this. But yeah, we'll talk about more about video games or hockey. I don't know what I'm gonna talk about in the next one, but I'm gonna grab myself another beer and let's queue it up. All right, guys. Yeah, I'll see y'all there. All right, got myself another beer. I have no idea what type of beer I fucking just grabbed. One of my brothers bought like a case of, I think, 4 different beers. It's like a 12-pack of 4 different beers, so 3 each. But while we were drinking, he gave me all the IPAs because he knew that's what I like. Typically, I drink IPAs. It's weird because I feel like IPAs are the type of thing that people fucking hate and can't stomach, or the type of beer people fucking love. And I'm one of those people, like, I love the fact that there's so much flavor in them. Like, I feel like when most people drink beer, alright, I'm about to fucking get into my culinary brain. And I know I said I was gonna talk about hockey or fucking video games, but this just fucking clicked this in my brain. I feel like people, when they're drinking beer, either want something very basic, very plain. You know when people say things like Bud Light, Budweiser, um, pick most of your normal, very light beers, your light lagers, your light fucking, I can't think of the other name of them. Can't think of the other name, but you know, your very light beers, like your stereotypical beer, right? You're not talking about like a Belgian ale, right? Or you're not talking about like these type of beers. When I say a light beer, you're fucking Bud Lights, you know, the ones that you can sit back on a porch with your homie, drink fucking 20 of them and not feel any effect, right? At least I can. Let's take this. Drawing more cards here is better. My hand is very, very slow. Especially with him ramping me and shit. Right. I find those just, you know, people say they taste like water, and they really do. There's very little flavor. There's very little experience in them. It's one of them. To be fair, I'm not someone that likes stouts. So Guinness. Yeah, I'll say the actual name of the type of beer, and I know that means very little to a lot of people. When I say to a lot of people, I mean to most people. If I tell them like, oh yeah, so you like stouts? They're like, what the fuck's a stout? It's just one of those things where when you work in the restaurant industry, you kind of notice that that's the type of things that people understand or not. Um, but yeah, I don't really. Oh, am I dead? Oh, I'm dead. Sometimes. Well, he kills me. I'm not a fan of. First of all, I'm not a fan of stouts, but like you know, if all there is these super light beers, sure, I'll drink them. I'm not fussy when it comes to like the type of beer I'm drinking. Besides stouts, stouts are like one of the big ones I'll stay away from. I'll drink reds, even though they're not my favorite, but I personally prefer IPAs. Um, but yeah, so like in my culinary brain, right, when I'm thinking about like if I'm like cooking or whatever, it kind of comes down to the fact that there's some people that like very light flavors, you know? You know when people say like, oh, they season it. Okay, this is gonna sound maybe a little racist, and it doesn't mean to, but you know when people say like they season like a white person, right? So just like salt and pepper. Again, that sounds really bad. And look, it is what it is. But like if you've worked in the culinary world any amount of time, something you will hear. I hear it in my kitchen, and I'll be honest, my kitchen there's man, I don't really like diving into ethnicities or anything like that, but like we're a black person, we're an Asian person, we're an Italian, French American, and a German. Um or French Canadian, I guess. And we could tell who made what based on how pronounced the flavor is. It might be because we've been working with each other for so long, right? But we all have our own way of seasoning things. And again, this is just like kitchen thing, but we're like the amount of times I've heard like, oh, this is a German way of seasoning things. I'm German, which is why I feel like I can make this joke. Um, is absurd. Just because people know how I season things. Alright? And the same thing has been said about everybody in the fucking kitchen. Like my friend Enzo that I work with, the amount of times I'm like, oh, that's an Italian way of seasoning it. It's just again, we'll all make that joke towards each other, and it's all chill, right? We're a kitchen, we're a family basically, and it's just kind of how it works. But I've noticed it that the people that like IPAs typically like the food also that has the very very bold and very very upfront flavors. The people that like the very light beers like the more simplistic flavors in their food. Um, and I that might not be true for everyone, but in a kitchen mind, partially because it's something me and my head chef has been working towards. We've been slowly, like every single day, basically, I come in and we're like, "Yo, let's try this dish. All right, we're gonna line up 6 beers. We'll separate a portion into 12." And this way, we each have one bite to go with each beer, and we're gonna try and figure out what pairs well with it, right? Because we're opening a terrace in the summer, so a terrace is like an outdoor eating area. I don't know if that's the same word in English as it is in French. Terrace, if I'm not mistaken, is a French word. But we're like trying to figure out so like this way when our waiters go out to people like chilling. Say it's like 5 p.m. right? You just finish work in like your office. You go sit down at a terrace. You want to have a cold beer and you want to have something light to go with it, but you want something that pairs well with it. So we're like taking a lot of our dishes and we're trying to find what we think pairs well. Like we're trying different cocktails we have, we're trying different beers we have. So this way, if they sit down and be like, we want this, but we don't know what beer would pair well with it or whatever, we have all that information for our customers. Create a better experience for the customers and things like that. Like I was talking to him, we were talking today, like maybe let's update like our drink menu so this way it says like it pairs well with like these dishes and like fine text underneath. It's like right now it's like we have a couple wines and it says like it gives the notes of the wine, and then like I was like, look, if you look at a bottle of wine, right, it's gonna give you the notes, it's gonna give you a paragraph describing the flavor, But at the bottom does it say, oh, pairs well with seafood or cheese or fruits or whatever. Go grab any bottle of wine that's of a decent quality. I'm not saying go buy a fucking $150 bottle of wine to try and read it. But, like, you know, even like a $15 bottle of wine, $10 bottle of wine will typically have pairs well with seafood, pairs well with pasta, pairs well with red meat, pork, chicken. It'll typically say it. If you've taken the time to read a back of a bottle of wine, it will tell you. So it's like, look, let's try and do that with items on our menu and our beers, because like we're a brewery, right? So we produce a lot of our own. Well, we produce all of our own beer, so it makes sense to have people that can look at a menu, be like, oh, you know, today I want to have the fish tacos. Well, it pairs well with the Mexican lager that the company serves, but it also pairs well due to the fruity notes of the mango salsa would pair well with this IPA, you know? That's a little bit more citrusy, things like that. So I started my boss, and we were spitballing ideas, and for like 4 days now we've been like, I'd come in and we fucking try it, we'd do little tests, we'd give our different points. We'd also give our points on like seasoning of the dish or seasoning of the salsa or whatever. So this way, you know, we're just constantly bouncing ideas off her. To be fair, not really my job, seeing that I'm not sous chef, yet my head chef treats me like I'm sous chef, because when he brought that up to the sous chef, he's like, hey man, you're the chef, you decide. And he came up to me, he's like, what the fuck do you think? I'm like, yo, I'm in, fuck, let's fucking do this, let's figure it out, and let's make it a better dining experience for our customers. He's like, sounds good to me, let's fucking do it. So yeah, it's an excuse for both of us to sit down and drink together and shoot the shit, but it's also fucking great. I love it. Anyways, enough ranting about my work life. I have no idea what the fuck to title this video, because it was mostly just me ranting about random bullshit, but anyways, Murmur Shaman, I think the deck is still really fucking good, and I would still highly recommend trying it out. Some draws are better than others, and to be fair, Dragon Druid, I think, is a very, very powerful deck that's underrepresented currently in the meta. Same thing, well, again, I'm pretty sure the third to last game, or second to last game? No, third to last game. The one where he DC'd in, I'm pretty sure I'd won that game. Looking at my hand, I'm pretty sure I'd won the game. It would be very wild to me if I would have lost it, basically, because I had wiped his board that turn. The next turn I would have drawn shit while he would have rebuilt, and I would have fucking wiped his board again, and then I would have won the turn after that, basically, so I should have won, but again, DCs happen, I guess. And we lost the next two games, which really fucking sucks, but what can you do? Libram Paladin is Libram Paladin, right? We had a very, very slow start, no interaction for what he's doing, and he had a very, very aggressive start. So, okay. It is what it is, but I still think this deck is very, very good. If you want to play a Shaman combo deck, give this one a try. Anyways, with that being said, let's, I'm gonna end off here. Hope you guys all enjoyed today's video. If you guys did, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. As always, follow me on Twitch and Twitter. Have a great rest of your day, and I will see y'all in the next one. Alright, guys? Yeah. Peace.